Hello and welcome to the Everything is Black and White podcast. Newcastle defeated 3-0 by relegation rivals Brighton. Our chief sports writer, Lee Ryder, was down at the Amex. Not a good night for Newcastle at all. And only one place to start, Lee. Enough is enough. Is it time for Steve Bruce to go?
Well, I think we've already reached the point of no return a couple of times this season, and they could have changed manager possibly after they got knocked out the cup against Brentford, just because of the body language of the team that night. It just wasn't right. They weren't up for it on that occasion. Then you had Sheffield United, and then there's probably been one or two times even after that, and certainly tonight, the team just looked so flat. Didn't start the game well at all. Brighton totally dominated and ran out very easy winners. I put in my match report that, they were made to look like Barcelona, and you've got to give them credit. But this is a Brighton team that have won just once here. They were frail in confidence, and it was just so easy for them to do exactly what they wanted in Newcastle. And I watched the body language of the players trooping out the ground, and it didn't look good. It's very worrying. And if I was owner of a football club, then I would certainly be looking to make a change in the dugout, because I can't see any other choice.
You said there they made them look like Barcelona. The commentators on Sky said Brighton looked kind of just shocked at the lack of proactivity, was the word they used, by Newcastle to get back into the game. There just seemed no urgency by Newcastle throughout. Were you surprised at just how lacklustre they were?
Not really, because I just think it's been in the post. And they did scramble a draw against Aston Villa last week, but that was quite fortunate, really, when you look back. And tonight, they just had no answers at all. And even after the break, when, if that was the reaction after, getting a bit of a telling off in the dressing room, sadly, they didn't respond. Obviously, they did hit the post, but we need more than that. And it was a disturbing performance.
Most certainly. And the first two goals, they were carbon copy of one another, out to the wing, cut inside, a shot. I mean, and that ball was repeatedly played as well. Why didn't Newcastle deal with it? I mean, it was clear to everyone to see what Brighton's approach was.
I just think overall, when you see the starting lineup, and you've got a deep lying forward, and you've got two wide players, it just has spats of playing for a draw. And I think Newcastle would have probably taken the draw tonight. Easy to say that now, but it would have put 3 points between themselves and Fulham, and kept them within swinging distance of Brighton. But Brighton took full advantage, and Newcastle, as I say, they didn't have the answers, and they haven't had the answers for. It's not just tonight. Steve Bruce wouldn't lose his job just on tonight. He wouldn't lose it on even the last 6 weeks. They've won 2 games from 20 in all competitions. That is serious decay, serious decline, and they need to do something, and they need to do it quickly, because they've only got 9 games left now.
Do you think the hierarchy will be watching this, and they will look to do it, because they've got history where they've acted too late? So where do you think their mindset lies at the moment?
Well, I think obviously they got rid of Steve McLaren with 10 games to go. They made the change in 2009 with Chris Hughton, when Joe Kinnear had bad health, and they made that too late with 8 games to go. They've now got 9 games to go. Points are running out. Winnable games are running out. If you look at the fixture list, I shudder to think, if that's what it's like against Brighton, I shudder to think what it'll be like against Man City, against Arsenal, against Leicester, against Liverpool. Those are 4 games from those 9. You do wonder. I mean, Sheffield United have already beaten them this season. Fulham have taken a point. They need a short, sharp shock. Someone has to come in and give them that wake-up call, or they're going to go down.
What was Steve Bruce like in the press conference after the game?
Yeah, I mean, the human side of you does feel sorry. It does feel sorry for a man who's been put through that much stress. But he took on the job. He knew it was going to be tough. He said that from the offset. But he's had the time, he's had the money to spend. Okay, he's had some injury problems, but every manager is going to get that. But unfortunately, he hasn't been able to live up to the demands of the job. And the fourth bottom of the table, and they're probably lucky to be there. You see, you deserve to be where you are on the table, but they probably should be lower. They've lost to teams like Sheffield United this season. It hasn't been good enough. And Steve Bruce is affable as he is, when the pressure isn't on, and he's met the press. He's got some great stories to tell about his playing career. Yes, he's had the almost 1,000 games as a manager, but it's just not happening for Newcastle United. It's not happening for Steve Bruce. I think the situation with the coaches around him, that is very strange with Graham Jones. Apparently, that wasn't his choice, is what we're told. He says something different, but that's where we are at the moment.
I mean, Morepower hadn't scored a goal since January. You mentioned there Brighton's first win. They'd only won once in the league previously. It was textbook Newcastle for Brighton to get a win and Morepower to score. And Newcastle didn't threaten at all. And that is quite worrying because Brighton do create chances, Fulham create chances, they just don't manage to score them, where Newcastle just don't seem to be able to even lay a glove on the opponent, including tonight.
Yeah, that was the story of the game, really. I think was it one shot on target overall. I'm still kind of reeling from how bad the performance was, but I don't know. Had Fraser's effort gone in, is it a different game? It's hard to say that now. It was unconvincing, and realistically, Steve Bruce has got some goal scorers in the squad. He didn't use them. Dwight Gale, he got taken off the team after last week. Starting, getting messed about, playing on the wing. You have Andy Carroll there. I've seen him storm down the tunnel at the end. I've seen Gale not far after him, and then I think they were the quickest to be changed and out the stadium. So, I think it would be very interesting to be on that team bus, or one of the 3 team buses, I hasten to add, because obviously with COVID they are spread out. So, look, where they go from here, I think it might be an overnight, decision, because obviously Mike Ashley's in the Middle East at the moment on business. He can only be advised by those around him, and if those around him think that Steve Bruce is the man to take them forward in these next 9 games, then I think that is probably the biggest gamble of Mike Ashley's tenure as owner of this football club.
Penultimate question, Lee. On the pitch, there was a real lack of passion, fight, anger, players getting upset. I didn't see any of that. I don't know, with you being there, being closer to it, maybe you did. But, I mean, A, did you? And B, if you didn't, does that worry you as well? Because surely the players have got to take some responsibility as well.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of gutless displays. I mean, for me, there was a lot of 1s and 2s, throughout the merit marks. And as you say, a lack of fight. That's been evident for a few weeks now. I know they've fought back and got a couple of points here and there, but you need wins, and you need that sort of passion, and you need that fight. And every time you pull on that black and white shirt, you've got to remember you represent thousands and thousands of people, thousands of fans who have been locked up in their homes, and that wasn't a true representative of where Newcastle United are.
It doesn't sound like Steve Bruce is going to walk away, though. He said it again tonight. He'll not give up the fight, sort of thing. So it looks like it probably would have to be a sacking if a change did come. Do you think?
Well, I don't think any modern manager walks away now. We know managers in the past have resigned when things haven't been good, but realistically, Newcastle United they will be going into this international break with a big decision to make. Compensation would have to be paid, and that's probably the reason why Steve Bruce is not going to walk.
They haven't had a plan before. Do you think there's been any sort of plan in leading up to this? Any names that have come across the table of Lee Charnley, Justin Barnes, Mike Ashley?
Well, they didn't have a plan when Rafa Benitez left, so and they had a full summer to sort that one out. And look, I think for them, for their point of view, they might look at Graham Jones and think he's a safe bet as caretaker manager. And whether that will pacify the fans, I don't know. I think the fans will take any change at the moment. If it's Graham Jones, I think they would accept that and see how it went. I don't know. Long term, obviously, I don't think that's a solution. You need someone who has obviously you need the tactical acumen to run this team, but also you need the charisma and you need to be able to take the criticism, because there's been times where the criticism's been very heavy for Steve Bruce and he hasn't been able to take it. You know, he's snapped in press conferences, he's restricted questions. He didn't do that at night. I'll give you that. He didn't do that at night. He accepted every question that come his way. So, but overall, it's a big job, and there's been some huge names in football. World class names have managed Newcastle United, and sadly they haven't been able to deliver. And it feels like Steve Bruce is going to be joining them soon. That's what it feels like tonight.
Lee, we appreciate you taking the time. Get back to Tyneside safely. Lee's off to catch a train now.
Thanks.
He's down at the Amex. See you later, mate. And you can head over to chroniclelive.co.uk to catch up with Lee's match report, his player ratings. That result tonight does not leave Newcastle in the relegation zone, of course, because Fulham failed to beat Leeds. Newcastle remains 17th, 2 points above Fulham with a game in hand. But their goal difference did take a bit of a dint tonight, -20 to Fulham's -15. Brighton now 4 points clear of Newcastle and 8 of Fulham. I guess the positive, if you're looking for one, is that it's still kind of in Newcastle's hands, as it has been the past few weeks, but they need to start winning games. Lots of positive talk about Callum Wilson returning after the international break, but the reality is, even with him in the side, Newcastle weren't picking up points. Yes, looking more threatening, but weren't picking up the points. Only 2 wins in 20. Sorry to rub it in, guys, but that is the reality. Of course, if you go over to the app, Chronicle Live app, you can subscribe to the breaking news feature on that, or anything that does happen, you'll get the notifications sent straight to your phone. And please remember to like and subscribe to whichever platform you're getting us through. For the meantime, keep safe, guys and girls. Thanks for watching and listening. Enjoy the rest of your night.